जी नमस्कार, स्वागत है आपका आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पर, आपके चैनल पर। डॉक्टर जेके तिवारी हियर वंस अगेन विद यू ऑन योर फेवरेट प्लेटफॉर्म द न्यू लाइसियम फॉर इंग्लिश लिटरेचर। दीपावली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं आपको। छोटी छोटी दिवाली चल रही है, छोटी दिवाली की बड़ी बड़ी शुभकामनाएं आपको। लक्ष्मी जी आपका भंडार भरती रहे, आप सदा खुश रहे, मुस्कुराते रहे, प्रसन्न रहे और दीपक की तरह जलते रहे और सूरज की तरह रोशनी फैलाते रहे। अपने घर का, परिवार का, समाज का, देश का, सबका नाम रोशन करते रहे। सभी को वेरी वेरी गुड इवनिंग। राइट, ऑडिबिलिटी विजिबिलिटी एक बार कंफर्म करिएगा। कोई डाउट हो, कोई क्वेश्चन हो, कोई क्वेरी हो तो शेयर करिएगा। इफ एवरीथिंग इज फाइन देन लेट्स स्टार्ट योर क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन। अगर कोई डाउट हो, कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो बताइएगा। मनोज शर्मा, रीता राज, आरती, प्रतिभा, धर्मपाल, सोनू, भावना, सभी को गुड इवनिंग, सभी को वेरी वेरी गुड इवनिंग। जी ऑडिबिलिटी कंफर्म कर दीजिए, ऑडिबिलिटी एंड विजिबिलिटी प्लीज कंफर्म and then I shall proceed. Yes, अपर्णा, कविता, रजनी साहू, अजय मिश्रा, सभी को वेरी वेरी गुड इवनिंग है। सभी का वेलकम है, आज सभी का स्वागत है। राइट, शुरू करें। जी सारिका नमस्ते, फिरोज को भी नमस्ते, अजय मिश्रा को भी नमस्ते। जी सेम टू यू। चलो आते हैं क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन पर आज के, और ये है क्वेश्चन आंसर नंबर 1। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है, आंसर तो आपको बताना है। क्वेश्चन 1 इज हियर ऑन योर स्क्रीन। How many children had Lady Macbeth? How many children had Lady Macbeth is the title of a lecture delivered by Elsie Knights in 1933, an essay by Thomas De Quincey, a lecture delivered by William Hazlitt, a part of Coleridge's characters of Shakespeare's plays. Which one is the right option? How many children had Lady Macbeth? How many children had Lady Macbeth is, what is it? Is it an essay by Elsie Knight? It is an essay by Thomas De Quincey. It was a lecture delivered by William Hazlitt, or it is part of Coleridge's characters of Shakespeare's plays. Question number 1. जी लकी उपाध्याय, हुडा जी को भी नमस्ते। राइट, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 और आंसर इस क्वेश्चन का, और वो है ए, द टाइटल ऑफ अ लेक्चर delivered by Elsie Knight, and this is the essay on Shakespeare's Macbeth. This is essay on Shakespeare's Macbeth. Right answer is A. Second question, Saturn. Saturn is the character in Paradise Lost, and Saturn's palace in hell. Satan's palace in hell is called Inferno, Paradiso, Pandemonium, or Purgatorio. What is the name of the palace? Right? What is the name of the palace where Saturn resides? The name of the place where Saturn was bound to stay, where Saturn did live. What is the name of the place? Purgatorio, Pandemonium, Paradiso, or Inferno? Purgatorio, Paradiso, Inferno. These three parts are there in Dante's Divine Commedia, and the place where Saturn stays, where Saturn lives, is Pandemonium. Right? Pandemonium means a place where there is a lot of chaos. Right? जहां पर बहुत सारा chaos हो, confusion हो, right? उसी को बोलते हैं Pandemonium. And Saturn, along with other fallen angels, Saturn along with other fallen angels lives in Pandemonium. So right answer to the question is C. Simplest question, the family Shakespeare was written by Reverend Thomas Bowdler. Question number 4. Who claimed that poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world? Who claimed that poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world? Samuel Taylor Coleridge, John Milton, A.C. Bradley, or P.B. Shelley? Who equaled the poets to the parliamentarians? Who equaled the poets to the lawmakers? According to whom poet and lawmakers are same? Who thinks that poets are also lawmakers? They also make laws for the country. Who thinks so? Right? Who thinks so? Who claimed that poets are the unacknowledged legislator of the world? And this statement was given by P.B. Shelley in his defense of poetry. Right? In his defense of poetry, the lecture, alright, poets are the unacknowledged legislators. Means poets are legislators, but they are not acknowledged. They are unofficial legislators. Alright? They are unofficial legislators of the world. Not of a country, but of the world. Next question. Which of the following best describes Lady Macbeth? Which of the following best describes Lady Macbeth? She declares her own guilt and stabs herself with a knife. She sleepwalks up the palace wall. Macbeth slays her in revenge for his own wife's murder, or she dies of stage. What are the reasons behind Lady Macbeth's death? How did she die? This is the question. How did she die? This is the question. Right, please do share the channel. कहता नहीं हूं तब तक चैनल आप शेयर भी नहीं करते ना. Please do share the channel among the groups so that people who were absent yesterday, actually yesterday I myself was absent, so that they could join your class. Right? Which of the following best describes Lady Macbeth's death? Lady Macbeth dies off the stage and we do not know how did she die. Her death is reported. Right? सिर्फ उसकी डेथ रिपोर्ट होती है ऑन स्टेज कि she has died. Next question. The banished duke who has been living in the forest of Arden. Banished duke living in the forest of Arden is reunited with his daughter at the end of the play. Is reunited with his daughter at the end of the play. If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter. If there be truth in sight, it means if my eyes are not speaking lies, it means you are my daughter. What is her name? What is the name of the banished duke's daughter? And options are Celia, Rosalind, Miranda, and Lady Macbeth. At the end of the play, father and daughter unite. At the end of the play, father and daughter unite. And where does father live? Father lived in the forest of Arden. And who was the father? Father was Duke Senior, the banished duke, and the name of the daughter was Rosalind. Right? Celia was the daughter of younger brother of Duke Senior. Frederick उसका नाम होता है. And Miranda is also the daughter of banished Duke. Do you know? She is the daughter of Prospero. Prospero is also banished Duke. He was dispelled by his own brother. उसने उसको डिस्पेल किया है, बट उसके साथ उसकी डॉटर पहले से ही रह रही है. He is united with the members of his family and friends, and here in as we like it, daughter is united with her father and father is united with his daughter. Alright, so right answer here is Rosalind. Alright, next question. There is a Latin phrase, et pictura poesi. This is a Latin phrase and it stands for what? Phrase, this is the phrase and it stands for as is painting, so is poetry. As is poetry, so is painting. Both of the above or neither of them. बताइए आंसर अब. At pictura poesi, and this statement has been, this phrase has been taken from Horace's Ars Poetica. Horace's Ars Poetica, यहाँ से इसको लिया गया है, and Ars Poetica was translated by Ben Jonson. And what is the meaning of this phrase? This was the question. Ajay Mishra, Sarika Singh, Kavita Jaishwal, Sonu Bhagotia, Rita Raz, these guys have answered the question. Huda Tahir, Bhavna Pangotra, right? Where are others? Haven't you shared the channel yet? Where are others? And if they are here, why are not they responding to the question? Julie, Pratibha, Firoz, Shabash. Great. Et pictura poesi, right? It means as is the picture, so is poetry. As is painting, so is poetry. This is the right meaning of the Latin phrase et pictura poesi. Here Horace compares poetry to the picture. Right? Horace compares poetry to the picture. This is the right answer. As is painting, so is poetry. जी रिंकी को गुड इवनिंग है. ऑलराइट, अजय मिश्रा का आंसर गलत है. रेस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर करेक्ट. फेस्टिवल में लगे हैं. हाँ जी, फेस्टिवल भी बहुत जरूरी है ना. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. फेस्टिवल मनाइए और होपफुली होली के सॉरी दीपावली के 10 दिन बाद तक आपकी डेट आ जाएगी कि आपका एग्जाम क्या है. और दीपावली के 10 दिन तक, एक हफ्ते तक मेरी भी छुट्टी रहेगी. मैं अभी छुट्टी मनाऊंगा आराम से, सुकून से, और फिर क्लास शुरू करूंगा. I had a sister whom the blind waves and surges have devoured. Who is being referred here? I had a sister whom the blind waves and surges have devoured. Who is being referred here? Olivia, Ophelia, Rosalind, or Viola? बोलिए आंसर. Who is being referred here? Wow, great Huda, शाबाश. Good. I had a sister. एक सिस्टर थी मेरे और उसको ब्लाइंड वेव्स एंड सर्ज ने निगल लिया है. This statement, this dialogue was made by Sebastian. Sebastian and Viola were twins, brother and sister. And when the play, the 12th night opens, हमें ये पता चलता है कि शिपरेक हुआ है and Viola has been separated from his brother. अपने ब्रदर से उसका सेपरेशन हो गया है, राइट, सेपरेशन हो गया है, और उसी सेपरेशन पर ये स्टेटमेंट बोलता है सेबेस्टियन अपनी सिस्टर वायला के लिए। सो दिस इज द राइट आंसर, दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट आंसर, दो द क्वेश्चन वाज न्यू बट ऑल ऑफ यू हैव आंसर्ड quite correctly. All the best. Next question. The following line is from the which poem? Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers, little we see in nature, that is ours. Getting and spending. What do? We earn a lot and we spend a lot. And in this way, we lay waste our powers. We are wasting our powers, we are wasting our energy. Little we see in nature, that is ours. And we have become so blind that we are unable to identify, we are unable to recognize the true beauty of nature. We are busy in materialistic things and we know that we are doing nothing. Everything will be wasted one day, right? We have lost our faith in nature. This line is from a sonnet written by William Wordsworth, and the name of the poem was The World is Too Much with Us. The world is too much with us. This was the sonnet against the advancement of Victorian society, against the advancement of industrialization, against the advancement of materialistic life, and against the advancement of science. People are busy in science, people are busy in earning and spending money, and people are not paying proper attention to the beauty of nature. All right answer to the question is C. Next question. Which of the following was not one of the university wits? Which of the following was not one of the university wits? Robert Greene, Thomas Nash, George Peele, Thomas Kidd. This is the question. Which of the following was not one of the university wits? A, B, C, D. 4 options are there. Find out the right answer. Right answer. Robert Greene, Thomas Nash, George Peele, Thomas Kidd. Which of the following was not one of the university wits? Right answer is Thomas Kidd. Right, Thomas Kidd is the right answer here to the question. All right, next question, question number 11. Read and click the answer. Who is being suggested here? Your face is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Who is being referred here and who is referring? Read properly and then answer. Don't be in a hurry. Read the question and then answer the question. Read the question, then answer the question. Who is referring whom? Who is referred here? Lady Macbeth is referring to her husband. Her husband's face is very simple, and she says that your face is a speaking book. It is letting everything know to other people. You should have a diplomatic face, you should have a political face, and you should have your face is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, you should look like the time. We are welcome in your eye. Right? We are welcome in your eye. We are welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be a serpent under it. दिखो बिल्कुल innocent, but रहो क्या बिल्कुल जहरीले आस्तीन के सांप की तरह. Here Lady Macbeth is referring to her husband. Next question. Which narrative poem by Lord Tennyson presents the story of a fisherman turned merchant sailor who after a shipwreck is marooned on a desert island? Which of the following options is true? Which narrative poem by Lord Tennyson presents the story of a fisherman turned merchant sailor? Right? Earlier he was a fisherman. Later he became a merchant sailor after the shipwreck. And the question is, which poem is being referred here? यहाँ पर किस पोएम को रेफर किया गया है? क्रॉसिंग द बार, Tithonus, Enoch Arden, or Mott? Who is being referred here? Ajay Mishra, Feroz Khan, Sarika, Bhavna, Kavita, and Rita. These answers have come to my screen, and the right answer to the question, the narrative poem that presents a story of a fisherman turned merchant sailor after the shipwreck, right answer to the question is Enoch Arden. Right answer is C. C is the correct answer here to the question. It is the story of the poem Enoch Arden. Enoch Arden poem है और उसी में फिशरमैन होता है जो शिपरेक के बाद एक मर्चेंट सेलर बन जाता है और एक डेजर्ट आइलैंड पर रहता है. दिस इज द स्टोरी ऑफ द इनोक आर्डन. क्वेश्चन का आंसर है सी. सिंपल क्वेश्चन नाउ. अ वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चन. इन मेमोरियल वर्सेस. Memorial Verses is a poem by Matthew Arnold. In Memorial Verses, Matthew Arnold pays tribute to three great poets. He pays tribute to three great poets. And who are the three great poets who were paid tribute by Mr. Matthew Arnold? Goethe, Shakespeare, Wordsworth. Goethe, Shakespeare, Milton. Shakespeare, Milton, Wordsworth. Goethe, Wordsworth, Byron. Who were the three जिनको ट्रिब्यूट किया है मिस्टर अर्नल्ड ने in his poem The Memorial Verses? And right answer जो है इस क्वेश्चन का 13th का, that right answer is D. Goethe, Wordsworth and Byron. These three poets were paid tribute by whom? They were paid tribute by Matthew Arnold in the poem Memorial Verses. And in Memorial Verses उन्होंने यूरोप का सेजेस्ट हेड बोला है गेटे को. Next question. According to Matthew Arnold, touchstones help us test truth and seriousness. Touchstone method, I hope you are aware of. Right, touchstone help us test truth and seriousness. that constitute the best poetry. What are the touchstones? You know that touchstones, there are writers, a few writers, and Arnold says that if you want to evaluate your poetry, then you should compare your lines with the lines of Homer, with the lines of Shakespeare, with the lines of Dante and Milton. What is the meaning of touchstone? This question is the purple passages of lyric poetry, passages from ancient poets, the lines and expressions of the great masters, passages of epic strength and vigor. What is the meaning of touchstone? What are the touchstones? This is the question. Touchstones are the lines and expressions of the great masters like Homer, Dante, Shakespeare and Milton. Right? Touchstones are the great lines by the writers, by the great masters like Homer, Dante, Shakespeare and Milton. और यही touchstone के example है. Next question. The error of interpreting a literary work by referring to the evidence outside of itself, such as the design and purpose of the author, is called. If you interpret a text on the basis of the design and purpose of the author, it means you create a fallacy. And I had told you about three fallacies: intentional fallacy, affective fallacy and pathetic fallacy. Pathetic fallacy is a figure of speech popularized by John Ruskin. There is no fallacy like authorial fallacy, and these two fallacies are related to new criticism: affective fallacy and intentional fallacy. If you are judging a piece of work on the basis of the design and purpose of the author, design and purpose of the author, it means you are creating a mistake. Which type of mistake? Affective fallacy or intentional fallacy? बोलिए. Half of the people have answered B and half of them have answered A. तो where should we go? हमें किसके साथ जाना चाहिए? Huda says A and Kavita says B. Right? Kavita says B, Pratibha says B, Rajni Sahu says A. इसका मतलब तो ये है कि इन्हीं दो में से आंसर है इधर A और B. इन्हीं पर क्लिक कर दिया क्या जाए क्या? If you judge a piece of literature on the basis of your emotion, that is affective fallacy. And if you judge a piece of literature as the design and purpose of the author, it is called intentional fallacy. Right? किस intention से उसने लिखा था? ऐसा होता है क्या या कुछ और है? जी दीपिका मैडम नमस्ते, कैसी हैं आप? What is the answer here? Doubt still prevails. एक के साथ शाबाश. चलो छोड़ता हूं. वीडियो देखिए ना आपने अफेक्टिव फैलेसी एंड इंटेंशनल फैलेसी न्यू क्रिटिसिज्म की. द वीडियो दैट इज अपलोडेड ऑन योर चैनल. देखा है कि नहीं? ऑनेस्टली बताइएगा. अगर नहीं देखा है ना, then you will have to watch it again and again until your examination happens. जब तक पेपर ना हो जाए तब तक देखते रहिए, रोज क्वेश्चन आएगा, रोज पूछते रहोगे, रोज गलती करते रहोगे, ये तो अनपढ़नेबल ही होगा ना। छोड़ता हूं क्वेश्चन आपके ऊपर, फिर से जाकर के देखिएगा कि विच फैलेसी इज बीइंग रेफर्ड हियर। दो ऑप्शन है, अफेक्टिव फैलेसी एंड इंटेंशनल फैलेसी। ऑलराइट, व्हाट वाज द इंटेंशन ऑफ द ऑथर? अगर आपको ये पता है, यू आर कमिटिंग इंटेंशनल फैलेसी, and if you are affected by someone, you are creating what? You are creating affective fallacy. तो यही आंसर है दोनों में से एक। Now you have to search. देखा है तो जवाब कैसे सही नहीं है? देखा है तो कंफ्यूजन फिर क्यों है भाई? ये तो बताओ ना मुझे। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which novels opens thus? Whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station will be held by anyone else, these pages must show. मैं अपने लाइफ का हीरो बनूंगा या मेरी लाइफ का हीरो कोई और बनेगा, आगे आने वाले पेजेस पर आप पढ़ेंगे। What is this? Is the opening line of any one of the four novels, and four novels are Tristram Shandy, Lady Adelaide's Secret, David Copperfield, Fitzboodle's Confessions. Which of the given novels starts with this beautiful line, whether I shall turn out to be the hero of my own life, or whether that station will be held by anyone else, these pages must show. Which novel starts with this line? वाह, देखिए, बुशरा, भावना, कविता, हितेश, प्रतिभा, these guys have read the novel David Copperfield. Am I right? आपने नॉवेल पढ़ा है, हुडा ने भी नॉवेल को पढ़ा है, और पढ़ा नहीं है तो देखा तो पक्का ही होगा, है ना? और अगर देखा है, अगर पढ़ा है, तो आपका आंसर जवाब सही है, अदरवाइज सी फॉर चंडी, है ना? सी आंसर इसका सही है। दीज आर द ओपनिंग लाइन्स ऑफ द नॉवेल डेविड कॉपरफील्ड। डेविड कॉपरफील्ड की ये ओपनिंग लाइन्स है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एलियट्स थ्योरी ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव कोरिलेटिव। T.S. Eliot's theory of objective correlative appeared in his essay entitled, इस essay में theory of objective correlative आई थी। Three Vices of Poetry, Tradition and Individual Talent, The Metaphysical Poets, Hamlet and His Problems। ये सिंपल वाला क्वेश्चन है, राइट? दिस इज द सिंपलेस्ट क्वेश्चन। Eliot's theory of objective correlative, right? And on the basis of objective correlative, T.S. Eliot declared Hamlet an artistic failure, right? Right? Artistic failure है T.S. Eliot के according Hamlet because it lacks objective correlative, and the theory of objective correlative was practiced by T.S. Eliot, right? And he mentions this theory in his essay Hamlet and His Problems, right? Hamlet and His Problems. Next question, what is Johnson's opinion regarding the violation of the three unities in the plays of Shakespeare? It is said that Shakespeare was not an adherent to the classical theory of drama, जो कि अरिस्टोटल ने बताई थी। Dryden defended Shakespeare's violation. Dr. Johnson defended Shakespeare's violation of unities, and here a few options are given on which grounds Mr. Samuel Johnson defended Shakespeare's violation of unities. Number 1, Shakespeare should have followed the unities. Shakespeare followed the important unity of action satisfactorily. Shakespeare's plays suffered because they did not follow the unities. Unity of time and place arise from false assumptions. The correct combination according to the code is first and second are correct, second and fourth are correct, third and fourth are correct, first and third are correct. Tarika, Kavita, Ajay, Rita, Kendrapal with Yaswant Singh. Hi, how are you? Right, Dr. Johnson defended Shakespeare's violations on the ground that Aristotle talked about only one unity, that is unity of action, and Shakespeare followed this unity beautifully. Point number 2, Dr. Johnson said that Aristotle never talked about unity of time and unity of place. It was Italian and French critics. It was Italian and French critics who attributed the unity of time and unity of place to Aristotle, right? And hence they distorted the theory of Aristotle himself. Shakespeare never followed the unity of time and place, but Shakespeare's plays became huge success even without these unities of time and place. It means they are not relevant. The relevant unity is unity of time, unity of action, and Shakespeare followed this unity of action very beautifully. And Aristotle was in fact, right, he told about only one unity, and that was unity of action. Tragedy is an imitation of an action that is serious, complete, and of certain magnitude. That is unity of an action, right? Rest of the unities were never talked by Mr. Aristotle. So right answer here is option 2 and option 4, right? These two are correct. Option 2 and 4 are in option B. Hence B is the right answer. Clear? Koi confusion? Any problem? Anything that you haven't understood? Please let me know so that I can clarify, and then I will proceed. Then even we shall proceed. Let's move to the next question. The phrase loud color is an example of. Loud color is an example of synecdoche, synesthesia, redundancy, paralepsis. Loud color is an example of. Come on. Question number 19. Loud color is the example of. Come on. Bushra Yasmin, Shabash. Rinky, Julie, Bhavna, very nice. Shabash, Huda, Shibu, Firoz, very good. Rita Raj, excellent. Sarika, Ajay Mishra, very nice. Now, I am proud of you guys. You have learned the theory of elimination. Right answer here is synesthesia. And what is synesthesia? When your more than one sense starts working, that is called synesthesia. And here you see that there are two senses. One is loud, that is auditory, and one is color, that is visual. And when two senses, when your brain routes sensory information through multiple unrelated senses, causing you to experience more than one sense simultaneously. This is the example of synesthesia. Right answer is B. You are aware of the definition of synecdoche. Synecdoche is a figure of speech where part is described with the whole and whole is described through part. Alright. Next question. Loud color is the example of synesthesia. 20. A character who is trusted most by the protagonist. A character who is trusted most by the protagonist is called confident, stock character, antagonist. The most trusted character is called. The most trusted character is confident. Confident is one जो आपका सबसे ट्रस्टवर्दी व्यक्ति हो, that is your confident. All right. Question number 21st. Tradition and individual talent is an essay by T.S. Eliot, and in this essay he talks about his theory of impersonality. He talks about his theory of impersonality, and according to T.S. Eliot, poetry is not the turning loose of emotion but an escape from emotion. Right? And the question is, in tradition and individual talent, Eliot describes the workings of the poet's mind in terms of which of the following? Right? In terms of which of the following? Natural selection, chemical reaction, flowing river, or cornucopia? What is the right answer? Right? The working of the poet's mind in terms of which of the following? Working of the poet's mind in terms of which of the following? This is the question. Right? And according to T.S. Eliot, ये क्वेश्चन MA का है, आपका पढ़ाया हुआ. Very good. The minds, working of the minds in terms of chemical reaction. Right answer is B. Kubla Khan, whose poem? Obviously Samuel Taylor Coleridge, an incomplete poem. Before reading the poem during the night, he was going through a book, Samuel Prakash's Pilgrimage. And when he woke up in the morning, he started writing. A person from Parlag came and disturbed him, so he could not complete the poem. And the poem remained a fragment. He did not want to get the poem published, but ultimately it was published in 1816, though written in 1797. And the question is, who persuaded Coleridge to publish it? Who persuaded Coleridge to publish it? Wordsworth, Byron, Keats, or Wordsworth's sister Dorothy? This is the question. Who persuaded Mr. Keats to get the poem published? Wordsworth, Byron, शाबाश, well done, well done. कैसे इतना पता है रीता? रीता, हुडा, प्रतिभा, सारिका, जूली, अपर्णा, मौसमी, बुशरा, सब ने आंसर लगाया है करेक्ट. Right answer to the question is your answer, that is Byron. It was Lord Byron who provoked Mr. Coleridge to get the poem published, and on his provocation, on Byron's provocation, The poem was brought out in 1816, though it was written in 1797, even before the publication of the lyrical ballads by Samuel Taylor Coleridge and William Wordsworth. Alright, next question, that is question number 23rd. Which of the following plays was detested by Coleridge? Right, Coleridge appreciated a few plays of William Shakespeare, but he detested a play. Detest karte the, he hated a play. Right, he hated a play. And what was the name of the play? Right, The Dynasts is a play by Thomas Hardy. The Dynast is a play by Thomas Hardy. Samson Agonists is the play by John Milton. Murder in Cathedral is the play by T.S. Eliot. And Measure for Measure is a play by Shakespeare. Coleridge belonged to Romantic period. Thomas Hardy belonged to Victorian. And Victorian period बाद में आता है, रोमांटिक पहले आता है. इसका मतलब T.S. Eliot उससे कॉलरिज उससे हेट कर ही नहीं सकते थे क्योंकि वो आता ही कॉलरिज के बाद में है. और मर्डर इन कैथेड्रल भी कॉलरिज के तो बहुत बाद आता है, करीब 100 साल के बाद, तो हेट इसको भी नहीं कर सकते थे. ऑप्शन बच रहे हैं बी और डी. एंड कॉलरिज डिलीवर्ड अ नंबर ऑफ लेक्चर्स ऑन विलियम शेक्सपियर. बहुत सारे लेक्चर्स बिटवीन 1808 and 1818. Right, around a decade he lectured on William Shakespeare and he detested the play Measure for Measure. Right answer is D here. Read and click answer. In restoration comedy, character names often reveal character traits. Character names often reveal character traits. What trait does the name Sir Wilful Witwoud reveal? In restoration comedies, the names of the characters were based on their behavior, based on their temperament, based on their activities. Right? और उनके नाम उनके काम के हिसाब से ही हुआ करते थे. A type of abstract characters, you could say. Here, the name of a character is given, Sir Wilful Witwoud. And what is the meaning? What is the trait that the name Wilful Witwood signifies? Right? क्या trait है जो signify हो रहा है? Right? Woodenness, measureliness, a desire to be thought of as witty, petulance. If you have understood the question, then you will click the right answer. समझ गए ना आंसर? सॉरी क्वेश्चन समझ आ गया ना पूरी तरीके से? क्वेश्चन पे तो कोई इशू नहीं है ना? And if you don't have any issue on the question, it means you are going to click the correct answer. But if you are having any issue, it means you cannot give the correct answer. अरे तो काम डिक्शनरी का है कविता. Willful, will means interest, will means desire. Witwoud, Witwoud means he is not witty but he wants to be. Witwoud, right? So your answer is totally correct. A desire to be thought of as witty, right? The character Sir Wilful Witwoud wants that he should be considered a witty person. People should consider him witty, that is his desire, and hence his name is Wilful Witwoud. Alright, right answer is C. Next question. In King Lear, To which woman has Edmund sworn his love? Edmund is a character. In fact, Edmund is a villain in King Lear. And whom does he love? Right? Which woman has Edmund sworn his love? Regan, Cordelia, Goneril, or both Goneril and Regan. Right? A person, Edmund, the illegitimate son, the bastard son of Gloucester, the main character of the subplot. He has two sons, Edmund and Edgar. Edgar is the real one and Edmund is the bastard one. And when the bastard son was denied of his rights, he became a villain and he shown his love, that he was in love with both. In fact, Regan and Goneril both were in love of Edmund and Edmund loved neither. वो किसी को लव नहीं करता है. Alright, so right answer is here, both Regan and Goneril. Next question, that is 26th. The character is, what is a character? Character is a genre. Character is character and characters are found in plays, in novels, right, even in narrative poems, even in short stories. But character is a genre, like sonnet, like narrative poem, like lyric poem, like elegy. Character is also a genre, right? Character भी एक genre होता है and it is a short and usually witty sketch in prose of a distinctive type of person, right? It is a short, usually witty sketch in prose of a distinctive type of person, and hence you have the word character sketch. Character sketch is already character. There is no need of a sketch. The simplest one. Who wrote The Sound and the Fury? The Sound and the Fury is a novel by Samuel Johnson, Ben Jonson, William Faulkner, Walt Whitman. Life is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Right? And William Faulkner wrote a novel, Sound and Fury. Right? William Faulkner wrote a novel, Sound and Fury, and the title of the novel, The Sound and Fury, was taken from Shakespeare's Macbeth. The title of Sound and Fury was taken from Shakespeare's play Macbeth. Alright? And the novel Sound and Fury was written by William Faulkner. Next question. 5 करोड़ का क्वेश्चन है ये. 5 करोड़. Break, break, break. A poem by Tennyson, and the poem was the part of his elegy in memoriam. And it is an example of, ये example है किसका? स्पॉन्डी, प्रोकी, आम्बस, पायरिक्स. स्पॉन्डी क्या होता है बेटा? व्हाट इज स्पॉन्डी? भावना, व्हाट इज स्पॉन्डी? Maushami, you have to tell in your comment box after the class. After the class, though I say daily and you do never, right? What is the meaning of the word spondy, and how could you say that break, break, break is an example of spondy? What is spondy? and how it is spondy, you have to write the answer in your comment box, and this is the answer, no doubt. Alright, answer is land, and you have to tell the reason how it is spondy. Next question. In book 5 of Prelude, Wordsworth dreams of an Arab in the desert after reading which great work? Prelude is the autobiography of William Wordsworth in 14 books. And here is a question from book number 5 of Prelude. In book number 5, Wordsworth dreams of an Arab in the desert, and he had read a great book, and the dream was based on that great book. Who was that great writer, and what was the great book? This is the question. Right, exclusive question for UP TGT aspirant. Exclusive question for UP TGT or UP PGT aspirants. Right, though the question is very important for EMRS and UGCNET NET as well. Wordsworth dreams of an Arab in the desert after reading which great work? Kavita, Maushmi, Sarika, Firoz, Ajay, Sonu, you have to write the answer in the comment section after your class. Don't take stress here. Here, answer this question. Book number 5 of Prelude. आज से पहले क्वेश्चन कहीं देखा ही नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, सीधे एग्जाम में दिखेंगे सारिका। दिसंबर में तो नहीं होगा, जनवरी में जरूर हो सकता है कविता, दिसंबर में नहीं होगा। आंसर इस क्वेश्चन का है Cervantes was a Spanish, and he wrote a picaresque novel, Don Quixote. Right, Wordsworth had read the poem, had read the novel Don Quixote, and in Don Quixote there is a reference of Arab, और वही अरब का youth was dreamt of by Mr. William Wordsworth. All right. So right answer is A. जनवरी में यूपी टीजीटी और यूपी पीजीटी दोनों के पेपर होने की इतनी ही प्रोबेबिलिटी है, इतनी 99% प्रोबेबिलिटी है जनवरी में यूपी टीजीटी पीजीटी एग्जाम कंडक्ट होने की, 99%. और इफ examination is to be conducted in January, it means you do not have any time at all. कोई भी टाइम आपके पास नहीं है वेस्ट करने के लिए, पढ़ने के लिए तो है, वेस्ट करने के लिए टाइम नहीं है। जनवरी का मतलब देर नहीं लगेगी आपको टाइम बीतते हुए, और खट से एडमिट कार्ड आएगा, और फिर आप हे अल्लाह पढ़ लिया होता थोड़ा सा, आप तिवारी सर की क्लास अटेंड कर ली होती थोड़ी सी, तो हमारा भी भला हो जाता। वो रिग्रेट करने के लिए कुछ नहीं छोड़ना है, तो पूरी तरीके से लग जाइए। 1599 is the name of a book. 1599 is the name of a book, and the subtitle of the book is A Year in the Life of William Shakespeare. A Year in the Life of William Shakespeare This is the subtitle of the book 1599, and the question is who wrote the book, and the name of the writer is given here, James Shapiro. James Shapiro wrote the book 1599, and 1599 is the year when Shakespeare's globe was established. शेक्सपियर का ग्लोब established हुआ था. Next question. Shakespeare's lyric stage, myth, music and poetry in the last plays. These are the repeated questions from my own class. Repeated questions from my own class, and I have brought them again. Why? So that you could be reminded of. आपके रिमाइंड रहे, आपके दिमाग में रहे, इसलिए इसको लाए हैं. Shakespeare's lyric stage, myth, music and poetry in the last plays, and Shakespeare's last plays are All's Well That Ends Well, The Tempest, Henry VIII, right? Pericles, the Prince of Tyre. These are Shakespeare's last plays, and in the last plays of Shakespeare are called romances. Romance कहा जाता है, and hence lyric, stage, myth, music and poetry in the last plays. And the book was written by whom? The book was written by Seth Lerer. Right? Seth Lerer was the writer of the book. Answer is C. Alright. EMRS PGT तो दिसंबर में हो जाएगा. EMRS तो दिसंबर में ही हो जाएगा, वहां पे देर नहीं लगनी है. Next question. The reformation of emotions in the age of Shakespeare. The reformations of emotions in the age of Shakespeare. This is another book by William Shakespeare. Another book on William Shakespeare. And who was the writer of this book? This book was written by Stephen Mullany. Stephen Mullany wrote the book, The Reformations of Emotions in the Age of Shakespeare. Stephen Mullany, ये इसका आंसर है. स्क्रीनशॉट लेते रहिए फटाफट. Next. Thinking with Shakespeare. Essays on politics and life. Thinking with Shakespeare, essays on politics and life was written by. This is the cover page of the book. This is the answer. Shibuji, I am going on leave on as 11th है ना, 12th, 13th. From 13th to 19th, you won't have live classes. From 13th to 19th, you won't have live classes. Though I will try to upload a few videos on literary theory for the students of UGC या NTA NET and assistant professor. Right? You will be getting videos on these days, and there will be no live class. Next live class after tomorrow will be on 20th of November. 20th of November, and once I will start on 20th of November, then I will let you know the next schedule, and that schedule will go on till your examination. All right. Next question, 34th. Once again, another book is here. Shakespeare's Freedom. Who wrote Shakespeare's Freedom? And Shakespeare's Freedom was written by Stephen Greenblatt. Stephen Greenblatt is a new historian. Stephen Greenblatt and Louis Montrose, these two, Stephen Greenblatt and Louis Montrose, these two are the new historians, and Stephen Greenblatt wrote the book Shakespeare's Freedom. All right, 34th answer A. 35th, कल की क्लास दिन में ले लूं क्या सारिका? कल की क्लास तो प्लान कर रहा हूं कि दिन में लेने की. If you people allow, because in the evening you people will be busy on, कहाँ बिजी होंगे? Will be busy in puja. I will let you know through the telegram channel. राइट, चेक करिएगा वहीं पर. लेडी डेडलॉक. लेडी डेडलॉक is a character in Charles Dickens's novel. And in which novel the character Lady Dedlock appear? The character Lady Dedlock appear in which novel of Charles Dickens? नाम है लेडी, और लेडी में भी कितना खतरनाक, लेडी डेडलॉक. Lady Dedlock is a character in which play? Sorry, in which novel? Lady Dedlock is a character in Bleak House. Bleak House में मैडम लेडी डेडलॉक अपीयर करती हैं, और यूपी पीजीटी में तो कई बार पूछा गया है कैरेक्टर लेडी डेडलॉक का. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which Keats's poem was originally intended to be part of a collection of verse tales based on stories by Boccaccio? Question is from John Keats. Which Keats's poem was originally intended to be part of a collection of verse tales? Originally intended to be a part of collection of verse tales based on stories by Boccaccio. Which poem is being referred here? The Eve of St. Agnes, Lamia, Isabella, or Hyperion? बोलो आंसर. The poem based on Boccaccio's Decameron is Isabella, and Isabella was intended to be one of the verse tales based on Boccaccio's Decameron. This is the right answer. Isabella, or the part of Basil. Next, which of the following statements is incorrect? Find out the incorrect statement about biography, autobiography, journal, and hagiographies. Autobiography is the biography written by the subject about himself or herself. Right? Autobiography is the biography written by the subject about himself or herself. Memoir focuses not on the author's developing self but on the people and events. Next, a journal, which is a day-to-day record of the events in one's life written for publication. And D, hagiographies are the stylized lives of Christian saints. Which option is correct? And if any of the options is correct, then what should be the right answer? Right वहां पर क्या होगा? गलत है तो सही क्या होगा? The right answer to the question is C, and a journal is not a day-to-day record of daily life. In fact, it is a diary. Right? In diary, you record your daily experience. वो होता है आंसर सी का. हियर जर्नल की जगह पर डायरी कर देते, बिल्कुल ऑप्शन क्लियर हो जाता. अदरवाइज ऑटोबायोग्राफी इज biography, and the difference between a biography and autobiography is that an autobiography is written by the writer himself and a biography is written by someone else. Right? Memoir deals with a particular event, particular incident, particular people. Right? That is called memoir, and diary is a day-to-day account. Right? Diary is a day-to-day account. So right answer is C here, because it is the incorrect answer. Next question, 38th. What attributes of Shakespeare's characterization does Johnson admire in his preface to Shakespeare? What attributes of Shakespeare's characterization does Johnson admire in his preface to Shakespeare? The way his characters represent particular times and places, the way his characters exhibit quirks representatives of their humorous or professions, the way his characters portray the general passion and principles of human nature, the way his characters portray real individuals. Which option is correct in the view of Dr. Samuel Johnson when he describes Shakespeare's characterization? What attributes of Shakespeare's characterization does Johnson admire in his preface to Shakespeare? Ji Savita, good evening. What is the right answer here? Right, Dr. Johnson says that Shakespeare is a master of general passions and principles of human nature, and this attribute was very much appreciated by Dr. Samuel Johnson. Alright, so no confusion now. जी श्रीपति जी, आपको भी good evening. 39th. Which popular nursery rhyme is mentioned at the end of the Westland? At the end of the Westland, a popular nursery rhyme is mentioned. Right? Which one? Ring o' roses, London Bridge is falling down, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down, tumbled his crown. Right? सब प्राइमरी में पढ़े थे ना. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty had a great fall. Which nursery rhyme appears in T.S. Eliot's Westland? T.S. Eliot के Westland में कौन सी नर्सरी राइम अपीयर करती है? London Bridge is falling down. Yes, absolutely true answer. This London Bridge is falling down appears in T.S. Eliot's Westland. Next question, that is question number 40. Question number 40. And one day I told you the differences between a travesty, the parody, the burlesque, and the mock epic. Mocks a particular work by treating its lofty subject in a grotesquely undignified manner and style. Which is the answer? What is being referred here? प्रतिमा जी को भी नमस्ते. It marks a particular work by treating its lofty subject in a grotesquely undignified manner, and style is travesty. Question number 41st. Which play of T.S. Eliot won the 1950 Tony Award for the best play? Which play of T.S. Eliot won the 1950 Tony Award for the best play? Murder in the Cathedral, The Family Reunion, The Cocktail Party, The Elder Statesman. कौन सा प्ले है? शाबाश. The play was The Cocktail Party. Cocktail Party was awarded the 1950 Tony Award for the best play. Question number 42nd. T.S. Eliot found spiritual support in Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, or Judaism. In which religion he found solace, he found spiritual support? Where does T.S. Eliot found the spiritual support? T.S. Eliot found the spiritual support in which religion? Right? Shabash. Confusion हुई थोड़ी सी ना. In his Westland, T.S. Eliot mentions Christianity, he mentions Hinduism, he mentions Buddhism. Right? सबको mention उन्होंने किया है. But in fact, he had said that I am a Catholic in religion, I am a royalist in politics and classic in literature. Right? याद है ना? Classic, Catholic in religion, royalist in politics and classicist in literature. So he found solace in Christianity only. That is answer A. Right? A is the answer to question number 42. 43rd. Who among the following was born in India? Who among the following was born in India? ऐसा भी क्वेश्चन आता है. बताओ इंडिया में कौन पैदा हुआ था? जो ऑप्शन दिए हैं उसमें से. क्वेश्चन नंबर 43rd. फिरोज, अजय, मौसमी, शारिका, भावना, नेहा, सोनू, जूली, शिबू पांडे. फिरोज खान. शाबाश. Who was born in India? प्रतिभा, रमेश. E.M. Foster was not born in India. In fact, he came to India in 1912. He came to India in 1912 and then he wrote the novel A Passage to India. He was not born in India. Though V.S. Naipaul is from Indian origin, he was born in Trinidad. Trinidad में पैदा हुए थे मिस्टर V.S. Naipaul. Paul Scott is known for the novels that are based in India. Indian based novels इनकी empire पर इनकी novels है. And Lawrence Durrell was born in Jalandhar. Right, Lawrence Durrell was born in Jalandhar in 1912. Right, his parents were working here in India with East India Company. British officers थे, and at the age of 11 he was sent to England for higher education. So right answer here is Lawrence Durrell. Right, Lawrence Durrell was born in India. Clear? Next. Who among the following is not associated with Russian formalism? Russian formalism से कौन associated नहीं है? Who among the following is not associated with Russian formalism? Yes, such a new question, and you people always stuck in the new question, right? Because you have learned by heart all the previous questions. Whenever there is something new, you always stuck. Who among the following is not associated with Russian formalism? अब इसके लिए फिर आपको हमारी वीडियो देखनी पड़ेगी फॉर्मलिज्म की. राइट आंसर इज जॉर्ज पॉलिट. ही इज नॉट एसोसिएटेड विद रशियन फॉर्मलिज्म. बाकी रोमन याकब्सन, बोरिस एचेनबॉम, विक्टर स्क्लोस्की, राइट, these people were associated with Russian formalism. Right answer is B here. 45th. Simple question. ये किसी का गलत नहीं होगा. Who is hailed as the successor to poet critics such as John Dryden, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and Matthew Arnold? Poet and critic. John Dryden was a poet known for his poems like Ennis Mirabilis, and he was a critic known as father of English criticism. Matthew Arnold was a poet known for his poems like Scholar Gypsy, Dover Beach, Empedocles, and Etna. Right, Thyris is the elegy, and then wrote several articles, delivered several lectures on criticism, the function of criticism, and the study of poetry. And then Samuel Taylor Coleridge was initially a poet, and later he became a critic and wrote Biographia Literaria and delivered several lectures on Shakespeare. And in the same spirit, it was T.S. Eliot, who was a poet initially, known for his poems The Love Song of Jailford Prufrock and Wasteland Zerontian, The Four Quartets, and then he is also known for his critical essays like Metaphysical Poets, like Hamlet and His Problems, like Tradition and Individual Talents, like his book on Sacred Wood. Right, so T.S. Eliot was a poet as well as a critic. Matthew Arnold was a poet as well as a critic. John Dryden was a poet as well as a critic. Dr. Samuel Johnson was a poet as well as a critic. Samuel Taylor Coleridge was a poet as well as critic. All right. Answer to the question is C. Next question. Which character in Charles Dickens keeps on hoping that something will turn up? something will turn up. Which character always hopes? That most optimistic character है चार्ल्स डिकेंस के ओवियर का. मोस्ट ऑप्टिमिस्टिक कैरेक्टर है चार्ल्स डिकेंस के ओवियर का. समथिंग विल टर्न अप. एंड हु इज द कैरेक्टर? बाकिस, मैकाइवर, यूरिया हीप, मिशाविज्म. राइट. एंड द कैरेक्टर समथिंग विल टर्न अप अपीयर्स इन विच नॉवेल? किस नॉवेल में अपीयर करता है ये? और इसी को ही मैकाइवर प्रिंसिपल कहते हैं. मैकाइवर प्रिंसिपल कहते हैं. राइट. ही इज ऑलवेज होपफुल दैट समथिंग will turn up, and that something will turn up will be very positive, hoping against hope. That is called McIver principle. Right answer is B, and McIver appears in David Copperfield. Question number 47. Who talks about the chameleon poet? Who talks about the chameleon poet? chameleon भी इसको कुछ लोग पढ़ देते हैं. जॉन कीट्स, शाली, वर्ड्सवर्थ और कॉलरिज. वेरी सिंपल, वेल रिपीटेड. कैमिलियन पोएट कौन है? कैमिलियन पोएट होता कौन है? अ पोएट इज अ पोएट द अकॉर्डिंग टू कीट्स द पोएट इज द मोस्ट अनपोएटिक ऑफ एवरीवन. सबसे अनपोएटिक जो होता है वो पोएट होता है. एंड पोएट मस्ट हैव नेगेटिव कैपेबिलिटी एंड पोएट मस्ट हैव chameleon spirit so that he could change accordingly. Chameleon is known for its various changing personality. Next question. Question number 48. Northanger Abbey is a novel by Northanger Abbey is a posthumous novel by Jane Austen. Jane Austen की नॉवेल है Northanger Abbey, and Northanger Abbey is a parody of the Oriental romance, French romance, Gothic romance, popular romance. क्वेश्चन नंबर 48. फटाफट आंसर करिए, छुट्टी करूं आपकी. आप जाएं, मस्त रहे, व्यस्त रहे, वीडियो को देखते रहे और दीपावली के पटाखे फोड़ते रहे, है ना. बट पॉल्यूशन से बचते रहे, न करें और न करने दें. Northanger Abbey is a parody of Gothic romance. Gothic नॉवेल पे पैरोडी है ये, और इसी पैरोडी को स्पूफ कहा जाता है. इट इज ए स्पूफ ऑफ गोथिक नॉवेल, स्पूफ ऑफ गोथिक रोमांस. क्वेश्चन नंबर 49. Which is of the view poetry is not a turning loose of emotion but an escape from emotion. It is not the expression of personality but an escape from personality. Matthew Arnold, John Dryden, T.S. Eliot, Ezra Pound. Right? Simplest question है. Right? These lines are from Tradition and Individual Talent. Tradition and Individual Talent by T.S. Eliot. ये वही की लाइन है थियोरी ऑफ इम्पर्सनैलिटी की. राइट आंसर इज सी. क्वेश्चन नंबर 50th. Which of the following is another term to describe art for art's sake? आर्ट फॉर आर्ट सेक को डिस्क्राइब करने वाला अनदर फीचर कौन सा है? अनदर नेम कौन सा है? एस्थेटिसिज्म, डायरेक्टिसिज्म, realism, neorealism. Art for art's sake was the movement popularized in 1890s by Walter Pater and later by Oscar Wilde. And this art for art's sake movement was against this didacticism. It is not the duty of the reader to instruct. It is not the duty of a work of art to carry the burden of the society on its shoulder. Literature should be written for the arts for art's sake. Art should be for the sake of art, for the sake of beauty, right? And this is the philosophy of aestheticism. This is the philosophy of aestheticism, and aestheticism is the absolutely correct answer here. Next question. Blank verse consists of. What is blank verse? Very simple question. Very, very simple. Iambic hexameter, 5 stress iambic verse, iambic tetrameter, 5 stress iambic verse, iambic pentameter, 5 stress iambic verse which are unrhymed, iambic pentameter, 5 stress iambic verse which rhyme, and everybody knows the answer to this question. Blank verse are the lines in iambic pentameter, but they do not rhyme, which are unrhymed. Answer is C, और लकी का आंसर है डी. लकी अब लकी नहीं रह गई इस क्वेश्चन पर. इसका आंसर डी नहीं, इसका आंसर सी है. All right, next question. 50 seconds. What vision does Macbeth have before he kills Duncan? Right? Macbeth had a vision before he kills Duncan. What was his vision? He sees a floating head urging him to spill blood. He sees a bloody axe lodged in Duncan's brow. He sees a floating dagger pointing him to Duncan's chamber, or he sees a pale maiden weeping in the midnight. Read and write. वाह, इतना प्रॉम्प्ट आंसर्स आते हैं मेरे बच्चों के. वाओ, ग्रेट. ये है प्रॉम्प्टनेस, ये है सक्सेस की सीढ़ी. ऑलराइट, इसका आंसर क्या है? सी है. He sees a floating dagger pointing him to Duncan's chamber. ये इसका आंसर है. ये सपना होता है मैकबेथ का before he kills King Duncan. There are none so credulous as infidels is an illustration of. फिगर आप स्पीच बतानी है. ऑक्सीमोरन, एंटीथेसिस, पैराडॉक्स और मेटोनिमी. मेरी मेहनत है. थैंक यू सो मच. 50 सेकेंड रह गया. चलो छोड़ो यार, रह गया तो रह गया. जो है उसको करिए. जो चला गया चला गया, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. फिगर आप स्पीच यहां बता दीजिए बस. देयर आर नन सो क्रेडुलस as infidels. कोई इतने क्रेडुलस नहीं है जितना कि इनफिडल्स, है ना. फिगर ऑफ स्पीच क्या है यहां पर? शाबाश। यहां पर जो राइट फिगर ऑफ स्पीच है दैट इज पैराडॉक्स। क्रेडुलस एंड अनफिडल्स infidels, they are opposite, right? Hence this is paradox, and I hope that was today's last question. And yes, that is not only hope, but that is also a reality. That was today's last question. How was the session? I want a feedback. How was the session? How did you like it? And why did you like the session? Please do write in the comment box after the class is over. Thank you so much for bearing with me. All the best. Good night. Once again, a very, very happy Diwali. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat. Meet you soon. Right, you will get entire notification through your Telegram channel. Good luck. All the best. Bye bye. खूब सारे पैसे कमाइए और खूब सारी लक्ष्मी घर को लेके आइए। और हाँ, जो लक्ष्मी घर में है ना, उनकी पूजा जरूर करिएगा। ऑल द बेस्ट। थैंक यू। जय हिंद।